It was 28 years. It doesn't seem like it, but that's a long, long time. But still remember a lot of the things that happened and leading up to that championship game.
It was one of the nicest things. It was one of the greatest things I was ever involved in. To see the crowd, the kids, the coaching staff, and it was one of those things that you don't ever forget.
Wheelersburg, Ohio, a small town with a population of around 6,000 people. You can find most of those residents at one place on Friday nights, Ed Miller Stadium. Wheelersburg Pirates football is a household name in the Buckeye State, consistently checking in as one of the top teams in Division V. Until this past season, the Pirates claimed one state championship that came in 1989. But with recent state championships in several other sports, including baseball and softball, it was apparent that Wheelersburg was ready to take a turn towards the title on the gridiron. Entering the year on a 25-game regular season winning streak, the Pirates knew they had a chance to build something special.
It was in summer weights, looking around, seeing everyone work hard and everything, and it was just amazing to see that everyone wanted to be here. We had a consistent energy coming through, so I knew that we had something special going.
A major part of their run was one in the weight room, where Wheelersburg would grind throughout the year, including in the playoffs.
I mean, he pushes us to the limits, mentally and physically. I mean, it's awful, but I mean, we always work hard. That's just our attitude around here.
We lifted throughout the season and everything. Coach Wheeler has done a great job of doing that. You know, we lift hard during the season. That's what's kept our energy and our strength up.
Wheelersburg is known for their work ethic, not only on the field but in the classrooms, and it's an expectation that we all take full responsibility of and pushing each other in the weight room. I mean, it's every single day. It's like you wake up and you're like, gotta do this again, but you know what the goal is, and you just got to push each other and get there. You make sure everybody's there and ready to work.
Wheelersburg would open the season with a decisive 48-3 victory over their bitter rival Ironton, sending a statement across Southern Ohio and the state.
After the Ironton game, I knew it would be pretty special. Just after every touchdown, you saw the whole sidelines out there supporting it. The whole sidelines down there. The first touchdown of the season, actually, to Tanner, and everybody, the fans on both sides was going crazy. And I knew at that moment it's going to be a special season.
From there, the Pirates continued to pummel anyone who stood in their path. Wheelersburg wound up finishing the regular season unblemished, defeating their opponents by an average score of 37.4 points, and were rightfully playing with a lot of confidence heading into the state tournament.
Playoffs is coming up. I knew we had something special. You know, you can't have a team like that and not want to win a state championship. You know, it's either you do or you don't. So at that point, we knew we had to win.
Standing in their way first was Bishop Reedy, who traveled from Columbus to face off against Wheelersburg. The game meant one last time at the Ed for the Pirates and their decorated senior class.
We wanted that extra home game because, I mean, we just wanted to play at the Ed one more time. I mean, it's just a great place, and it meant a lot.
The atmosphere is ecstatic. I mean, everybody's around, everybody's got those jugs that everybody talks about. That's all you hear. I mean, especially the home playoff game, it was special because we knew it was the last time we was going to be playing at the Ed, and so we really just kind of like took that game like play by play because it was so special.
It's a rowdy, hostile environment, and it's as close to what many of these kids will ever get to a chance to experience something like it at the college level, just in terms of the music and fan base and those kind of things. Coming from a small college player myself, you know, there's more fans here than there was at a number of the games that we had, and definitely louder. And you know, when you add in the band and the student section and all those things that go along with it, and it makes for such a special experience.
There's going to be moments throughout tonight. Moments. Take advantage of those moments. Play together. Play together as a group. Okay, come off the ball. This is the first step. Okay, this is the first step. If you truly want to reach higher, then reach up for this first step and go take it. Yes, sir. Okay, go take it. Okay, it's waiting right there. Knock on that door and say, "Here I am."
As could be expected, it was a rocking atmosphere at the Scioto County School.
We got defense, baby. Woo! Let's go. Come on, smack in the mouth. Tonight, pleasure, you can Don't take anything for granted. It's quick. It's real quick, boys.
Silver Knights of Bishop Ready were unable to provide much of a challenge as Wheelersburg dominated in a 34-0 win. Trent Salyers threw for 2 touchdowns in the game and broke the single-season passing yards record in the process. The defense was dialed in as well, holding the Silver Knights to just 111 yards of total offense. Xander Carmichael sealed the deal in the fourth quarter with a pick 6, propelling Wheelersburg on to Week 12. It looks as though the Pirates are primed and ready for a deep tournament run as they were set to face off with Columbus Academy the next week in Chillicothe.
Spectrum TV commented on the fact that Wheelersburg, or the announcers there, Wheelersburg, they've been in the regional championship. They haven't won it enough. They don't have what it takes to get themselves there. Okay? I like this Columbus Academy team. They got some D1 athletes. Okay? That doesn't light a fire. That doesn't light a fire in you. Okay? I don't know what else could.
Early on, it seemed like the script had flipped from last week. Wheelersburg would struggle early in the game against the Vikings and trailed 13-0 at halftime. However, the Pirates didn't panic.
I talked to my parents about this a lot, actually. It's not like a normal football team. You'd think you go in halftime, everybody would be like arguing or like talking about what they need to do. Honestly, our locker room at halftime was dead quiet. No music. It was just talking to like your position coaches, just asking questions. And you just have that feeling. I've had the feeling all year that like there's no way we can lose. I'm not like being cocky about it, but it's just you have that gut feeling.
I really think that I was confident. We went in there at halftime, like Avery said. It wasn't coach coming in there saying rah, we need to get going and stuff. It was, we talked to our position coaches, we made a few adjustments, and we were going to win this ball game.
It was the first time we'd been down by a double-digit deficit in pretty much my whole career. So that was a little bit of adversity we had to face, and we just had to make sure that everyone was mentally strong there, mentally focused, stayed in the game. We don't like to get down on each other. It was important to see each other, everyone picking each other up and just taking that next step and winning the next play.
Out of the locker room in the second half, Wheelersburg would make a switch to their offense. Reverting from their typical spread look, the Pirates opted to go with a power running attack.
When we was in there, we was just telling them, we was like, the backs have had us all season, and it's time to put the backs on our back, and we're ready to go. And we really thought we could get some movement because they was kind of just standing up and just kind of trying to make plays because they had an athletic front more so than a powerful one. So we just really started getting that ball moving.
The trio of Xander Carmichael, Evan Horsley, and Dominic Reyes provided a spark in the ground game in the final 2 quarters. The three would accumulate 272 yards and 4 touchdowns in that frame, as Wheelersburg looked like a completely different team.
That was something special right there. Not a lot of teams go straight to old school power football. So at that halftime, like Tanner said, we really weren't down at all. We were like, we got to change something. So us linemen, we got together, talked to coaches, told them that we need to run the ball. And then as soon as we started running the ball, they didn't know what to do.
It was great feeling, like, we were stomping on the throats right there, and then finally just kind of end it with a couple more touchdowns, and finally, put them in a coffin. It was great.
Overcoming a 13-point deficit, the Pirates battled through adversity to reach the regional semifinal against Johnstown Monroe. The win against the Vikings was pivotal as it set the tone for what was to come later in the playoffs.
Well, you never want to go down as a coach. You never want to experience that. We had some adversity there, but it definitely set us up for understanding the adjustments we needed to make. And our guys made those and did what they needed to do, and it just showed them that there was a no-quit effort, and definitely that was something that carried us through the state semifinal and the state championship game.
While their second-round contest was a nail-biter, the regional championship game against the Johnnies was anything but. Quick out of the gates, the Pirates picked off a pass on the second play from scrimmage.
It is intercepted by Xander Carmichael. The Wheelersburg defense forces a turnover on the second play from scrimmage as Carmichael records his 3rd interception of the season, picking this pass off around the 32-yard line.
Not even 3 minutes into the game, Wheelersburg found themselves up 7-0 on a Reyes touchdown.
Great job by the Pirates. Couldn't have asked for a better start here than this first 2 minutes.
It escalated rather quickly from there. The The Pirates would punch in 3 more touchdowns before the half, taking a 28-0 lead into the locker room.
Line comes to Berg. Pirates right back to work. Quick pass right side to Holden. Holden gets away from one defender, spins away from a second, and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Wheelersburg. Wheelersburg on defense. Johnstown Monroe with the football. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Ball is fumbled, and Wheelersburg has recovered. A big turnover as Johnstown Monroe was driving and knocking on the door. Here is a pump fake. Salyers throws right side, lost it up for Holden, all by his lonesome, brings it in for the touchdown, the second TD of the game for Tanner Holden. That ball had a lot of air on it, and Holden was wide open. It is 20-0 Wheelersburg with 7:38 to play in the first half. Salyers throws it back. A receiver screen. Holden on the receiving end of this. He's got some room, and he's got the first down. Holden off to the races. Cuts it back to the far side. 30, 25, 20. One man to beat, and Holden will be shoved out of bounds just inside the 10. Here is the give up the middle. This is Evan Horsley, and he is in for the score. Wheelersburg adds to its advantage. It is now 27-0 Pirates with 2:56 left to play before halftime.
On defense, Wheelersburg was relentless. They completely stymied the rushing attack of Johnstown Monroe, a team that had put up over 400 rushing yards the week before. Tanner Holden scored 2 of those touchdowns, tacking on to what had been a stellar junior campaign for a player who would eventually be named the Division V Offensive Player of the Year in the state of Ohio. Wheelersburg went on to win 34-7, securing a spot in the state semifinals against Madison. The Final Four was a tough spot for the Pirates, who were 1-5 in the semifinals all time, entering the game against the Mohawks.
Throughout the whole season, they've just worked and worked and worked, and they've enhanced things throughout this playoff. They've taken it to the next level. I tell you what, I told some parents, and they know it when I walked out of our feet the team last night, that they're the most ready I've ever seen a team going into this ball game. I just sensed it, I felt it, and it was all the work that they put in.
We just practice run game all week and try to stop that.
What are you hoping for moving forward?
One game at a time. I'm not going to hope for anything. I'm just going to work hard, and we're going to get this win next game.
The last win at that spot came in 1989, which was the last time Wheelersburg won a state title.
We never talked about that. Everybody else sure brought that up a lot, and we understood that was kind of the. But when you get to that level, you're going to play elite teams, and anybody who can get to that level has had a remarkable season.
It was like, this isn't an option this year. We're not going to get beat in the regional championship. We're not going to get beat in the regional semis. We're going to reach higher. We're going to get that state championship.
Madison sure was an elite team. Some Pirates even felt they were the toughest squad they faced all throughout the playoffs.
My junior year, that team made me think of Coshocton, because they're all big, they're all tough. They're definitely a lot bigger, a lot tougher, and usually teams around here aren't as big or as tough as they are.
I think it was a little tougher than any other game, because their team was loaded. I mean, they're all athletes and they could really make plays. And I think going into halftime, we all really knew what we had to do, step up, and we really just couldn't let this one slip by, because we knew the opportunity that we had at hand. So we really just couldn't let the opportunity slip and go right by us.
We just had to focus on stopping the run. Past 3 weeks, we had to stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. So, I mean, we were very prepared for that, but Madison had a little bit more bigger linemen and everything. So we knew that we just had to stay physical with them and just mentally beat them down, and physically, I mean, that's all we had to do was just beat them down, be tougher than them.
Chillicothe was the site once more for Wheelersburg. If they won, they would play for a state championship. Just like they did in their game against Columbus Academy, the Pirates had to fight. Neither side was able to get their offense going throughout the first half, as each team went back and forth trying to establish momentum. The Mohawks claimed that momentum just before the second quarter came to a close, grabbing a touchdown on a short quarterback sneak to take a 7-0 lead into the locker room. Wheelersburg had been here before. They knew what they needed to do, but they dug themselves in a deeper hole when they threw an interception and fumbled on back-to-back drives. Those turnovers propelled Madison to a 10-0 lead late into the third quarter. It appeared as though the game could get out of reach after a fumble, as the Mohawks were in prime position to score and make it a 3-possession game. However, Evan Dahm had other ideas. Dahm intercepted a pass over the middle of the field to stop Madison in their tracks, preventing what could have been a dangerous scenario for the Pirates.
I got to give that to my coaches. Coach Tilley had been telling me that I was going to get a pick all game because they roll out, and that quarterback, he's a great athlete, but a lot of times he doesn't check his receiver. He's ducking and trying to get that thing out as quick as possible, and I came underneath, and I'm glad I caught it because if I wouldn't have, it would have been really embarrassing.
Though the Pirates wouldn't score on the drive following the pick, they would flip the field position, which would later come into play. After a long punt from Xander Carmichael, the Mohawks were backed up deep in their own territory. That came back to bite them when they fumbled on the first play from scrimmage, now setting Wheelersburg up with a big opportunity.
Ball's on the ground, it's loose. Wheelersburg is saying the Pirates have recovered, and the officials say yes. Wheelersburg football.
The Pirates would make the most of it, getting a field goal from Jalen Miller to cut the deficit to 7 with 1:50 to play in the third. Wheelersburg's defense once more rose to the occasion, forcing a 3-and-out. They would get a huge play on special teams as Madison bobbled a punt attempt and turned the ball over on downs.
Fumbles the snap, he's going to have to run it. He gets away. He's got room on the near side, trying to get to the first down 6, and he's not going to get there. He is slowed down by Keeney.
Now, the Pirates were looking to tie the game and in a great spot to do so. 2 strong runs put Wheelersburg at a 3rd down and 5, and a play-action pass helped the Pirates find pay dirt as Justin Salyers caught a beautiful pass from Trent Salyers.
Here is play action. Salyers firing toward the end zone, has a man there. Touchdown! Justin Salyers, who lined up as a tight end on the left.
I had to tell Avery what to run, and I thought they were going to run into each other during the play, but I saw him cutting across the field, and I was about to take a hit, so I just threw it up, hoping for the best. When I got back up, he was standing in the end zone. It was unbelievable.
However, Wheelersburg would miss the extra point, so they trailed 10-9 with 10:08 remaining. Though they were behind, the big score gave them some confidence. You could feel the tables starting to turn at Ernstine Field. The Pirates' defense stepped up once more, forcing yet another 3-and-out to give Wheelersburg the ball back in what was again a good spot.
Split back in the backfield. The give goes to Savard, right side, hit the backfield and dropped. Did not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The first Wheelersburg Pirate to get there was Jeremy Cooper.
Capitalizing in a major way, the Pirates got inside the 5 on a dime thrown from Trent Salyers to Tanner Holden.
Working this one down the middle of the field for Holden. He catches it! A beautiful throw and catch. It will be 1st and goal, Wheelersburg at the 2.
Then it took just 2 plays for Xander Carmichael to give Wheelersburg the lead for the first time.
Wildcat formation. Carmichael will take it in, and the Pirates lead.
His 2nd down run from 2 yards out put the Pirates on top 15-10 with 7:09 left to play.
It's been many times getting back in that quarterback position, and coaches trust me, players, they all trust me to have the ball in my hand at that moment. And once I get in that position, it's either I get the 1st down or I get the touchdown. I can't accept nothing less than that. And so, if you're in my way, I'm gonna have to run you over.
From there, Wheelersburg's defense was locked and loaded. Having already forced 2 turnovers in the game, the Pirates would force 3 in the 4th quarter to shut the door and ultimately seal the game in their favor. Interceptions by Micaiah Matthews and Tanner Holden stopped any sort of perceived threat from Madison. With 15 seconds remaining, the Mohawks again had the ball in desperation time. The pass from their quarterback was intercepted by Cole Lowry, officially closing out the contest and sending Wheelersburg to Canton for a chance at a state title.
Neither team with any timeouts remaining. Bunch trips right side. Reed Davis rolls to his right, fires. His pass is picked off by Cole Lowry. Lowry, go down. Will fall down around the 39-yard line, a late penalty marker because of a late hit, but that is now a moot point. The Pirates are going to win this thing.
So many times other teams even may have given up, but our guys are accustomed to continuing to fight and was able to go out and get us in the state championship game.
I was crying. I got to be honest. I was so emotional. We worked so hard. Those coaches worked so hard. This community is so behind us. I was happy to do it for them. I was happy for my team, and it was amazing.
Oh man, it was something. It's still like, I was just kind of speechless. I was like, wow. We're going. And I mean, I had full confidence we're going to win this game. I mean, no doubt. Nothing on the team. Everybody was just ready. I mean, we come out pumped up, and I mean, it was a tough game, but I mean, there was a few mistakes made that game, but I mean, in the end, we come out on top.
The Pirates are now set to face Pemberville Eastwood, a Northern Ohio school who also entered the championship game at 14-0. Wheelersburg was set to face the Eagles at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, which was a surreal experience for the team.
It was crazy. I walked out on the field, and I even told myself before I got there, and I told everybody, I'm being the first one out on that field, and I'm not coming back in until Coach tells us to. So when we got there, I just kind of walked out, and I took my helmet out with me. Me and Xander, we took our helmets out, and it was great. I tried to do anything and everything I could on that field, get as much time as I could, because I knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It's a blessing to be able to be there. You know, being able to walk on that field was, you know, a privilege. Very little people get to experience that, you know, and we got to bring the community, friends, family, everyone came up to experience that with us, and not just ourselves, but them too. But playing on the field was just something else special, and by the time it was game time, I put all that behind me, and it was just like any other field.
Looking up in the stands, Pirates players saw a sea of orange and black. Among Wheelersburg faithful were Scioto County residents and Southern Ohio natives who made the trip up to cheer for the hometown team.
Crazy. There was about 10,000 people there, I think, and I look up in the stands during the game. I see people from different schools all around Scioto County. Everybody showed up.
I get out there on the field for warm-ups and kind of like looking up in the stands. And I mean, I just feel so small. It was just one of those things where I was just like, wow, this place is breathtaking. I mean, it was just spectacular. I mean, just what a fantastic place to, you know, play our state championship game. Coming out, I mean, you could just feel the energy all over the field. I can feel the vibrations from the people just screaming. It's like 10,000 people there.
Today we will witness a battle of unbeatens as both Wheelersburg and Pemberville Eastwood enter today's contest with unblemished 14-0 records.
As far as the action was concerned, it was a grudge match with both defenses shining early.
As the Eagles have the ball, faced with 4th down and 8 at the Wheelersburg 12-yard line. Play action, Pickrell. With time, looks, directing traffic, throws for the end zone, and the pass is too tall, incomplete.
Eastwood would score with just under 3 minutes left in the first half on a rush from Leon Dameron, but missed the extra point.
Here's the give to Dameron. He gets to the outside. He's going to go in for the score. He got a block, and it was just enough to get into the end zone, moving around that left side, and Eastwood scores first.
Trent Salyers would lead the Pirates on a march down the field before the break, completing several passes to keep Wheelersburg moving forward. Then, with 42 seconds left, Salyers called his own number for the score. With the extra point, the Pirates put themselves up 7-6, which would be the eventual halftime score.
It was very important because going into halftime in a deficit, it's a lot of weight on your shoulders, so just get that drive in there and go in with some confidence at halftime and more relaxed. It was super important to the mindset we'd have in the locker room.
The majority of the second half was a defensive battle. Both schools went right at each other, and as a result, Wheelersburg wound up paying for it. Late in the third quarter, Pirates quarterback Trent Salyers sustained an injury. It would later be announced a week after the game that Salyers had broken his right fibula. Rather than come out of the game, Salyers stayed in and attempted to will his team to victory.
I was committed to it all along. As soon as I came off, first time I was hobbling off the field, Coach Woodward looked at me and said, is it bad? Is it all right? I said, it's bad, but I'm not coming out of this game. I'm not coming out of this game. So it didn't cross my mind. I was thinking more about what I needed to do next play than the pain in my right leg, so I kind of ignored that, put it to the side, and was more focused on getting that trophy.
Never for 1 second thought about coming out of the game. You know, I could tell in his mind he was evaluating, okay, what can I do? Am I gonna hurt this team? Am I going to be able to still be effective with this? And he displayed full confidence in us that he was good to disperse the ball where he needed to. Obviously, you know, he wasn't going to be able to run, so. He didn't bat an eye when it came time when we asked, you know, how are you? What he had been evaluated by a trainer. Our trainer didn't know definitively what exactly things were. And felt that he could go back out, and so we went with that. But Trent's toughness is just when you look at it, you know, some people wonder if we have tough men these days, and by golly, the Wheelersburg Pirates do.
As both teams battled back and forth, it looked like the offenses were going to continue to stall late into the game. That is, until the Eagles flexed their muscle deep into the fourth quarter behind Jalen Rayford and the team's star running back, Eastwood, gained some juice. Rayford would eventually score a short touchdown to give the Eagles the lead once more, and a 2-point try put Eastwood ahead 14-7 with just 1:27 to play.
Pickrell with a long snap count. He'll give to Rayford. Rayford is in for the touchdown. And the Eastwood Eagles move ahead 12-7.
In pain and down a touchdown, Salyers and the Pirates were faced with the drive of their lives.
And they just said, stay calm, take what they give you, what you've done all year. So I just kind of took that to heart, and I was like, I'm just going to do what I've done all year. I'm going to be me and be relaxed and get the open guy. And thank the Lord that I hit some special throws out there, and I was clutch when it happened. So I was calm, cool, and collected, and made it happen when I needed to.
After 2 plays for minimal gain, Wheelersburg was against a 3rd down and 9 at their own 26. Stepping up under pressure, Salyers threw a beautiful pass to Keeney on the sideline for a first down.
The pass is caught by Keeney. Is he in bounds? Yes. The catch by Bryson. Keeney does it again.
They ran a pretty deep coverage where they thought drop 3 people back and run a cover 3, and we like to run Tanner holding vertical a lot, so whenever they'd run Tanner vertical, almost 2 defenders would collapse over top of them, and I would just kind of slow down and find that gap in the zone. So Trent did a good job of finding me there, and we just had a really connection that game. The ball's coming in my direction, I just got to make sure I pull it in and get my feet in bounds. Because there's been a few drops we've had this year, and they haven't lived them down, so I knew it was just another time to make a play and get our offense moving a little bit.
From there, there was a couple special throws to put the Pirates in the end zone.
Right side. Oh, Lowry has it. He's got the catch. Lowry inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 25. Wheelersburg is not done yet.
Back to throw. Looking, firing over the middle. Caught by Holman down to the 11-yard line. Another Wheelersburg first down. 23 seconds left. Now he's in the gun, setting up a screen. He's got a receiver wide open. That's Van. Touchdown! Touchdown! And the Wheelersburg Pirates are an extra point away from tying things up with 17 seconds remaining.
We ran that play earlier in the game. I got the same distance, probably 12, 15 yards. Ran it again. Later on, it didn't work because the linebacker was spying me. And then that last play, the linebacker blitzed, and I knew it was going to be open. I just ran right behind him and turned to hit me.
Matthews' touchdown with 12 seconds remaining made it a 1-point game, and Jalen Miller knotted things up at 14, and then overtime for the Division V state title game. Wheelersburg would start on offense and ran into some trouble with a 4th down and 1 on the Eastwood 11-yard line. Should they kick the field goal or go for it?
We had like 20 seconds on the play clock, and they yelled for the field goal unit. So the field goal unit got out there and got set up, but we ran out of time, so we had to call a timeout. And when the huddle came over to the sideline, I told them, I was like, this means too much to our community and our team to just go for a field goal and settle right here. I said, we need to go for a touchdown. So then after Coach Williams, he stepped aside and talked with Coach Cassie, and they came up with the Tebow pass, and it was perfect play, perfect time.
We were in the huddle, and at first we were going to kick a field goal. We all knew something was wrong. We were like, there's no way. It's 4th and 1. I mean, we got to get this. There's no way we can't kick field goal. So Coach calls a timeout, and we're all in the huddle. We're all yelling something out. But then Coach finally goes, you know what, listen, we're gonna run Tebow if you all are fine with that. And so we all agreed. And as soon as we head out there, I mean, I wasn't nervous at all. Walking up to that line, I knew that I had Tanner to my left or Bryson to my right.
4th down and 1. The kicker is on the sideline. The Pirates will go for it. Xander Carmichael, a jump pass to Holden. Touchdown, Wheelersburg! What a play! What a play!
And now he does the jump pass. Touchdown! They do the Tim Tebow jump pass to Tanner Holden, and the Pirates lead.
What a play!
20-14. Xander Carmichael does it again.
We've had that play in probably like since my sophomore year. I think it was 2 years. I mean, we ran it every day in practice or every other day in practice, and I wanted to run it against Johnstown, kind of get it, but Coach said no. Like we're gonna hold that one, and thankfully we held it, and it worked out for the best. I wasn't even that nervous. I was kind of calm. I kind of knew what I had to do, and I knew Xander would be able to give me the ball, even though it wasn't that perfect. So
took the time out. Didn't take much talk about it. We looked at a couple options. Felt good about it. We all did. All coaches felt good about it, and we, of course, the minute we mentioned the play to the players, what do you think about Tebow here? Let's do it. They were ready to rock and roll, and lined up perfectly, executed perfectly, and those 4 words, fat right shield Tebow, will live in infamy in Wheelersburg, within our coaching staff and players, that is.
Score an ensuing extra point put the Pirates up 21-14, but they still had to play defense. Rayford again showed his abilities on the first carry, rushing to the 11-yard line. His next carry, though, will forever be famous in Wheelersburg.
And Rayford in the backfield. The give goes to Rayford. The ball is loose. If Wheelersburg's recovered, this is game. Yeah, the Pirates got it. Wheelersburg wins. Wheelersburg wins. What a game. What a game. The Wheelersburg Pirates are your 2017 Division 5 state champions.
Attempting to gain extra yards, Rayford tried to push the pile forward on his second carry. Not only was he denied, but he fumbled the ball after combined efforts from Alex George and Avery Danini. The ball squirted free and ended up in the hands of Cole Lowry. Wheelersburg was state champions.
Xander hit him, and I was like, oh, here it is. It was like slamation. I just dove on the ball. I put the ball in there. I was like, oh, we did it.
I was playing DN, and Avery was at the Pirate position, which is just like a monster back or strong safety. I came down, had the initial hit, and then Avery came in and just knocked the ball out. Finally just rolled over, and I looked up, and Cole jumped on the ball, and that's when I just started running down the field, looking up at the stands, seeing everyone go crazy, and it was again breathtaking.
As soon as that fumble was recovered by Cole, I just dropped to my knees and bawled crying, because all the hard work, all the emotion built up to that, I could just let it out, because I knew that we had success, and it was a special night to everybody in this community, everybody in the county really. As soon as we got back to Waverly, we were getting honked at, escorts and everything, so it felt like a celebrity around this place, and it was an amazing feeling that night.
I continue to set goals for myself. I have since I've been young, and worked very hard to achieve those. This was a goal that I set. It was for myself, but mainly because I wanted to take young men to that level. Once I saw what a state championship meant, how you could get there, I wanted that as a young person, and I thought, what I want to do is take other young men to this. So I want to do everything in my power to try to work to achieve it. I'm with a great staff, a great group of other guys that all have that same goal and vision, and we've all put that together and worked. 10 years that I've been a head coach.
We kick ass! South first ball, ready go! Ready go! Ready go! Ready go! Ready go! Ready go! Go!
It was amazing. It was probably one of the best feelings I've ever had in my high school career. I mean, knowing that you finally accomplished one of the biggest goals in high school sport, it's just awesome. It's the best feeling you could ever have.
It's been very exciting. There's been a lot of emotions I've held in this whole 15 weeks just so I could keep a stable mind coming into the state championship game. But now that we've won it, I've kind of boasted a little bit, kind of bragged. So it's been nice, A lot of people congratulate you, and you realize what your work has done for this community and what you've done and what you've brought back here.
An epitome of toughness, the Pirates once more never surrendered and claimed the ultimate treasure in a state championship trophy.
Yeah, baby, let's go!
All season long, Wheelersburg hoped to reach higher on the field and in life. With the second state championship in school history, the Pirates were able to do just that. Through long days of practice and Friday nights of many triumphs, Wheelersburg would forever cement their legacy with their win over Eastwood. For the Pirates players, it was about more than just winning it for themselves or their schools. They wanted to do it for their community.
I think there was finality in it. There was a sense that everyone has been following this. Everybody has been supporting us, and we accomplished our goal, and they wanted to show us the love that I think we showed them on the field.
As soon as we got back, I mean, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning when we was leaving the field after the state championship, and this whole field was completely filled up, and you just feel complete like joy. You just know what it meant for the community, and it was more than just a game.
It's amazing that, you know, we have the Wheelersburg faithful behind us every game, and that's one big reason why we could go so far a lot of times, because the crowd gets into it and everyone gets pumped up. So, and it was also a great feeling to be able to win this state game for them.
The feeling didn't really hit me till like that night, realizing that the huge accomplishment that we made, and just coming back, everybody is still outside watching us pull in.
It's not easy to put into words what being a Wheelersburg Pirate truly means. It's about accountability, hard work, and dedication. And with that comes success on Fridays.
Being a Wheelersburg Pirate, I mean, it takes a lot of heart to be a Wheelersburg Pirate. You have a lot of pride, and that comes with being a Wheelersburg Pirate. I mean, coming out every day, even in the classroom, on the football field, basketball court, any sport, you really have a lot of pride, and you have a lot to live up to. You have a lot of people who came before you, and you need to be able to perform and kind of show them that what they brought whenever they played is still around.
I think I'll remember the fact that just the work that went into it. Our coaching staff does a great job. Our players really took ownership of coming out and giving your best every day. It's not a cocky thing. It's not a we're Wheelersburg so we can do whatever we want kind of thing. It's you come and do your job every day and good things will happen.
To be honest, I'm gonna remember the fans. I mean, there's nothing like it. The fans, it's like no other place. I mean, no matter what game it is, it's a packed house. I mean, it's just great to have the support we had here. It's not like other places, you know, but here, no matter what sporting event it is, it's going to be packed, and I'm just happy the community supports us.
Now with 2 state titles, Wheelersburg is hoping they aren't done yet. They'll open the season in 2018 on August 24th against Ironton.
Wow! The orange and the black of fight for you, Wheelersburg. And our will never ever fight back pretty soon.